Good morning again, everybody. This is Chris Gardner with ASA, and Arlene Davis from AAI and myself welcome you today. We're your host for today's webinar on what's new at AAPEX. Just a little bit of background and some housekeeping. We do have your phones on mute for now. Please submit your questions at any time by typing in the question area, which should be located in your dashboard. On most screens, it's on the right-hand side. We plan to answer all the questions at the end of the webinar. Also, some of you may have your audio controls set to mic and speakers. That can work, but it usually works better if you select telephone, if you have called in or would like to call in using your regular telephone. We have representatives today from WT Glasgow, and they will be speaking to us in a few minutes, but if you have any questions regarding AAPEX, about anything, please feel free to contact Arlene at AAI or myself at ASA, or you can contact Glasgow at any time. Their phone number is 708-226-1300. And now it's time for our webinar. I want to welcome you again to today's webinar. Thank you for taking time to join us. We want to look at what's new at AAPEX. And for those who don't know, we had a great webinar last Tuesday on pre-show and the week of the show strategies for making the most of your AAPEX and for generating ROI for your companies. And our friend Steve Miller presented that. We did record that webinar, and it is available. Let us know if you cannot find that webinar on the AAPEX website, and we'll get it to you. We'll direct you to where it's located. Today we're going to cover some new and enhanced areas that will help you better prepare for AAPEX. We're going to look at what the SANS facility and its remodeling is all about, some new technologies for you to prepare for AAPEX for exhibitors, new promotional opportunities, making sure your e-booth and e-contact are correctly entered. We may even mention the enhanced greeter program and some other things. Today we have Judy and Chris from WT Glasgow. We have Alex from A to Z. And we have a lot of information for you, so let's get to it. So to help us get started looking at what's new at AAPEX for 2012, I want to turn this over to Arlene Davis from AAI. So Arlene, take it over. Okay, while she tries to call back in, we'll go through this. As you see on this slide, the SANS is being renovated. Most everybody knows that by now, and we've communicated that through various newsletters and through our respective show committees. And a lot of the renovations will be on the entranceway and the upper lobby area and the lower lobby area. A lot of it is cosmetic, and in a minute or two we'll show you some schematics of renderings of what it will look like. I think everybody's going to be very pleased. The project will be significant portion will be completed when we show up for AAPEX, but some of it will not be completed until next year. So there will be a little bit of walking around certain construction areas, but it will be minimized. The meeting rooms will be changed a little bit, and they're removing some and they're adding some. So if someone's had a meeting in a certain location for a few years, it might be a little different. If you're unsure of that, be sure and get a hold of somebody from Glasgow or from AAI or ourselves to find out. Let's see. I think that's about it. Can you go to the next slide if you can hear me, Jess? Ah, yes. Very good. Okay, here is one of the renderings from the upper lobby area. As you can see, the appearance is going to be much more stylish, modern, contemporary. As you can also see, the escalators are going to be changed. We probably will still have some construction area, an escalator that will not be able to be used, but will be located in the middle of the lower lobby area, and it'll be surrounded by curtains or something to protect the area. But eventually, this is what the stands will look like, and will be a significant improvement, as you can tell. Okay, next slide. And then another shot of the lobby area. Again, there's a curve. It's much more rounded, smoother, contemporary, upgraded feel. And is another significant thing, and I'm assuming everybody who's been to AAPEX notices that there's a lot of currently, or in the past, there were a lot of overhead support areas, support beams, some duct work, things like that. And as you can tell by the new rendering, that'll be gone. That'll be improved significantly. Okay, next. Here's a shot from the lower lobby area and showing some of the escalators and the new carpeting and the new ceiling. Again, much more contemporary, nicer flow. And the building does have some age on it, so it was definitely due for an enhancement. This is the outside area, the taxi area as you enter. What you would normally think of as the front of the sands. Even though a lot of people enter from the Venetian, this is considered the front of the sands. And again, a nice curve flow, more inviting area.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome back, Arlie.
I apologize for that, folks. We called back in, and now it's all working. And great job, Chris, on the renovation at the Sands. As you saw the renderings, we actually can report the show managers have been going back and forth to Vegas this summer, and their most recent trip, quite a bit has been done. And as Chris said, where there is construction going on, there will be walls around it. We won't even know that it's happening, and but we will get the benefit of some of the new changes. The meeting rooms and so forth are updated, and I think it's just going to give the whole facility a nice new feel and a great home for AAPEX. Now, as we go on from there, I wanted to give you, before we get started with some of the other stuff, a few facts about our buyers. So as you're listening to what's available for you these last 36 days prior to AAPEX, you'll get an idea of why some of the things that we are offering and some of the tools that we have may be beneficial to you. We found through our surveys and our demographics, if you're not aware, our buyers have to complete about 28 questions when they register, and we ask a number of demographic questions. From that, we gain that 54% do make buying decisions. 28% are making buying recommendations. And in terms of how long they've been in business, we have over 59% have been in business for more than 11 years. So they're strong companies. How do our buyers break down? We have, in terms of retail auto parts, 22,000 are associated with that. And you look at that number and you say, wait, there's only 5 major retailers. How can that be? Well, there's various segments of retail, so they fit into, there's also performance and others. But so buyers associated with retail outlets, this includes international as well as domestic, we have 22,000. Warehouse distribution, we have 12,186. And of that, about half are parts distributors. And typical of the folks that you know, Pronto, Federated, Bumper to Bumper, Auto Value, and those folks that are associated with AWDA, as well as WDs that are tire folks, paint, and tool and equipment. Repair garage. We attracted last year 8,407 folks associated with repair garages. There were about 3,000 independent repair garage owners, and then there are other breakdowns with engine building shops, there are performance shops, and a few other things, but they're all in the repair garage category. Now, all others, in terms of buyers, fall into that. There's 17,000 of them. What is that? Who are those folks? Well, there are a variety of buyers that attend our show, from lube shops to car wash folks to service dealers that come from actual dealers, new car dealers. So we cover a wide range, but the quality of the buyer is very high. Now, what are our buyers telling us in survey results? Well, we had 68% of our buyers responded to the question of, does AAPEX impact your buying decisions throughout the year? 68% said that it absolutely does. Are they making that decision right there? We don't know, but clearly they take the information that they gain from AAPEX and use it moving forward. And our surveys, I'll tell you, we got a great deal of help this past couple of years. Steve Miller, who's been working with AAPEX to improve the show, has helped us with our survey program, and I think we're getting better information from our attendees. I think this is a key issue. This is important for all of you to know that they are taking the information from AAPEX and it does impact their decision making. Now, as we move forward through this webinar, it's important that you understand those buyers, but also that you take advantage of some of the technology that AAPEX has to offer. We have a mobile app that all of you should absolutely download. We have one for the Droid, we have one for iPhones, and there's also something if you have a BlackBerry. In terms of the on-site mobile compass and our website, all of those feed off of one database and one information base. And you're going to hear a lot about that today, about your e-booth profile, about your directory listing, all of that. Keep in mind, one time you fill out something, that information is transferred to these three tools that attendees can use to find you. So this morning, I'm going to turn this over to, we're going to go over a few things. As I said, the directory listings, the e-profile. Our friends at A to Z, Alex Riddick, is going to take us through the widget and some of the other digital opportunities that we have. And then the folks at WT Glasgow, Judy and Chris Kay, are going to talk to you a little bit more about how you can brand and take advantage of promoting at AAPEX on-site. There are still things, even though there's only 36 days until the show, there are things that you can take advantage of. So I'm going to turn this over to Alex at A to Z, and he's going to start off with a few things on our website and the profile. And Alex, take it away.
Thanks, Arlene. We can go ahead and change presenter there. Give me 1 second. Okay, everybody can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the AAPEX team asked me to kind of go in here and give you guys a little bit of a walkthrough of some of the different technology tools that are available to you. What we're going to do today is kind of work inside the portal as an example company, and I'm going to show you guys how to update your profile, some of the various promotional opportunities, and kind of talk about what those are, and then finally talk about the e-booth promotion widget, which is something that's going to be new to everybody for this year. So what I did here is I logged into the portal as an exhibitor. This is something where you guys have probably already been in here at some point. Up here at the top under the support, if you actually email the support thing, it actually comes to me. So many of you may have dealt with me before. We're working today as the ABC company, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of this. So you can see when we come in here, we've got 4 different main buttons that we can work with. We're going to go ahead and start with our e-booth button and talk a little bit about what goes on in here. So here's where I can update all the information for my company. You can see here today that I'm Alex Reddick. I'm the parts manager for ABC Company. Put in my information, including my phone number. And I've got a couple other different fields here that I can fill in. Print profile is what's going to be captured for the printed show guide directory. So the information that you fill in here, as per what Arlene said, is going to carry over into there. So it's nice because it's one place where you can come and put that in. Our e-booth profile here is kind of going to be the substance of what people see when they're clicking on our booth online. You can see here I've just put in some text, and I've actually used some of these formatting tools to give it a little bit of color, put some links in and things like that. If you know how to use Microsoft Word, it's super easy to come in here and just do that. So don't be intimidated. Just come on and type it in and, configure it as you like. You do have a character limit there, so make sure you pay attention. We put in a website URL to our website. We uploaded a logo for our company. Also, we included our brands. Now, Arlene mentioned that we should touch on this today. Is there anything specific that you wanted to add, Arlene, in this section?
Well, I think it's important. The buyers have asked us, you know, companies have merged and purchased other companies, but there's familiar brands that are out there, and oftentimes they don't know who owns the brand now. So they want to be able to put a brand in, find out where that booth is located, and go visit with those folks. So this brand option, the attendees ask for, and we have it. So it's important that our manufacturers and our exhibitors include those brands in their e-booth profile.
Great. So just for the purposes of kind of my demo company today, I just have brand 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just so you guys can see how that looks. Down here in the product categories, we're going to want to check off everything that's relevant to us. You can see here as I scroll down, there are many, 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 many ones that you can choose from. So when the attendees come and they're searching and they're looking for you, this is one of the main ways that they're going to be able to find you. If there's someone who doesn't know the specific name of your company or a specific thing by keyword that they're looking for, but they're here to buy acrylics, then if acrylics is checked off, you guys are going to show up under that search. I'm just going to continue down to the bottom here. Now, also, we have the concept of the product categories here. I've selected air cleaner, accessories and custom air cleaner assembly as one of the product categories for me. You can see I've got a bunch to choose from. And then if I'm an exporter, I've got some additional items that I can check off as well. I'm a U.S. company. At least 51% of the value comes from U.S. origin. I can select my product interest and my regions in which I export to, any type of trading arrangements that may be relevant to me, the name of the contact person, and their contact email. And you can see here today that I've just put myself in there.
And Alex, just so you know, that's important for our international attendees. And this year, our international buyer attendance is up by about 3% over last year. They are certainly looking for U.S. companies that can export. So that information is very important because they can actually search and find out which U.S. companies export. So that's a very important part of the profile, and people need to make sure that they have completed that.
Great. Also down here at the bottom, you can see I've got some boxes where I can put a link into my social media if that's relevant for me, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And once I have everything in the system here and it all looks good, I want to make sure I come down here to the bottom and hit that Save button. And it's just going to take a second here to update. And then I want to show you guys the green message we're going to see. And just give it 1 second here. Our internet has been running a little bit slow today here in the office. Okay. Here we go. Great. Sorry about that. So up at the top here, we can see that my profile has been saved successfully. Anytime you're doing something in the portal and you've done it correctly, you're going to get that green message. So that's something you're going to want to look for. If I had something that was filled out incorrectly, the system would have put a little red message. Perhaps my print profile was too many characters. It would have put a message here for me to let me know that I had too many there and I needed to back some of them out. So you always want to make sure you're looking for that green message.
And Alex, can you repeat, how do I save my profile? I've been working in it. What do I need to do to make sure that I save it properly?
Just to reiterate one more time, down here at the bottom, we want to hit that Save button. My profile has been saved successfully. So we can click over here to our Preferences tab. Preferences just basically gives us the option of opting out of the matchmaking. If you're going to be participating in the matchmaking within the portal, then you want to go ahead and just leave this box checked yes. But if you wish to unsubscribe from the mailers that the attendees are going to be sending looking for matchmaking, or from any of the emails, you do have the option to do that here under the Preferences tab. Now, I want to just show you two other things real quick, the press releases and show specials, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Very similar to what we were doing with adding the profile, we can also add show specials into the system or press releases. They work the same way. So by clicking over here on the side under My Press Releases or My Show Specials, I'm brought to a page here where I can add some in. Now, adding them is simple. I just type in a title, I type in the text. I've got one I've already got in the system here. I'm going to go ahead and load up just so we can take a look at it. We can see here we've got the name and we've got the text. We can use that editor to add some formatting and color to it if we'd like to. I just kind of have some text filled in today just to show you guys how easy those are to add in. Now, the importance of filling that profile out is so when the attendees come and they're looking for you, you're going to show up in their search. I'm going to show you searching in a second here. First, I want to cover a little bit of the promotional opportunities that are available for you. And let me go ahead and jump over to that page. So when we come to the promotional opportunities, we've got some additional things that you can purchase to help increase your exposure to the attendees. I'm going to go through each of these and just kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what they all are. The portal sponsor is going to give you a direct advertisement in the portal. I'm not sure exactly where on the page they would be putting it, but show management would have a place here in the portal where they would put your sponsorship. If we go over to our online booth upgrades here, this is where we have the ability to kind of configure how much we have inside of our e-booth itself. So we have what's included in our basic listing, but we've got a couple of different packages we can choose from here. And just to kind of highlight the differences for you, you can see we get a company logo, we get 15 product categories at the silver level, 5 show specials, press releases, things that are relevant for us, including emails and appointments if we're sending them out to attendees who are working in the system. If we go up to the gold listing, you'll see that we get some additional product categories that we can check off, as well as additional emails and appointments, and an event map logo that we can place on the floor plan. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. And then up here at the Platinum package, we get even more items on top of that. So adding these is simple. You just check the button off, and then you add it to your shopping cart, and you'll process it through just like anything else you were working inside the portal here. If we look at the product showcase, here's where we have the ability to take a product that we have in the system and feature it in a separate place called a product showcase. This is where if we have one particular product that we really want to show off and have kind of in its separate area, we're able to do that here by checking this box off and adding it to our cart and processing through. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Let me just kind of cover this stuff at a high level first. We have an event map tile ad and also an event map logo. Now you saw back in the booth packages, the event map logo was included in some of the packages, but we do have the capability of purchasing separately as well. And what I've done here is I've taken a quick screenshot of the floor plan to pull up for you, just to give you an idea of what an event map logo and a tile ad are. So as we look at the floor plan here, we can see that Gabriel Ride Control has purchased an event map logo. And on top of their booth, we can see their logo right here. Very prominent, really stands out when the attendees come to look at the floor plan. A tile ad exists down here at the bottom on the floor plan, and these rotate. So you have the ability to purchase an ad and show here in the rotation. So while somebody's looking at the floor plan, they're going to see, whatever image you want to provide is going to exist there about your booth and your company. We also have the concept of a featured listing as far as category searches and keyword searches. Now, in order to show these, what I'm going to do is actually do a couple of quick searches and show you what it means to be featured and what a general search looks like. So I have my advanced search open here, and I'm going to do a couple of different things. The first thing I'm going to do is search by keyword. So I'm going to go ahead and search by the word tire and hit search. And just give it 1 second. So when I search for the keyword tire, I'm going to get a list of all the exhibitors in which tire is relevant as a keyword. Now what you'll notice up here is ABC Company, which is the test company we're working in today, purchased tire as a keyword from back over here. That was a keyword searching. So because of that, they show up here in a separate area and are much more prominent when a search is performed. You're able to purchase the keywords in that fashion and also product categories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and this time instead of searching for a keyword, I'm going to search for a product category. Now, I'm going to check this off. If I wanted to expand it and search for a specific item in here, I could, but I'm just going to go ahead and search for the entire category today. Okay. And we can see here, if we had an enhanced exhibitor, they would appear here at the top. We don't have one for this particular category, but we've got a list here of all the different people that fall under that product category. You'll notice, too, that their products, press releases, and show specials show up here as separate icons as well as their social media. So here's another exposure point where you're going to want to make sure you have those fields filled out because you're going to be visible here. So we covered everything in here in the sales office, and we also talked about the importance of updating our profile, and we looked at the products and the press releases and show specials. Let's go over and take a look at what the product showcase looks like. Now, I've opened this in a separate window already just so we can reference it. Here we can see we have a separate page that includes some of those special items that people really wanted to stand out. ABC Company has purchased products that are going to exist here. Just as my demo, I have product 1 and product 2, and I can have them under a category. They're under innovation, and their company shows over here as well. So I have the ability to click here and get information about ABC Company, click here and view the product in and of itself, and kind of scroll around and take a look at everybody that exists in the showcase category. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the eBooth promotion widget. Now, this is something that's going to be new to everybody for this year. When I go to this page here, you're going to see some code, and I don't want you to get scared. Whoever manages your website is going to know what this is, and they're going to know what to do with it. So what you're going to do is pass it along to them, and they're going to be able to work with it. Now, what the eBooth promotion widget is it's a way for you to help generate exposure for the show and generate exposure for your booth. The widget's going to look like this. And what I have here is I have a screenshot of an example page with it on it. We can see here that this exhibitor has placed this widget right here on their homepage. It's prominent. It shows the name of the show. It also includes the booth number, where that exhibitor is going to be. And we've got a couple different functional buttons. Now, your website designer can put this in many, many different places, and they're going to know the best thing for your specific site. So all you really need to do is pass along the code to them. Now, as the widget exists on the page here, we've got a couple different functional buttons that we can work with. We've got our booth number. We've got our Add to Expo plan and our Register Now. I'll go ahead and show Register Now first. When we click on this, what this one's going to do is just take over to the registration site for the show. So if somebody was a prospective attendee or wanted to get more information, they could jump right over here and get that information. Also, we have this Add to My Expo Plan button. Now, you've probably exhibited at AAPEX before. You're probably, pretty well versed in what an expo plan is, or the attendees build the exhibitors they want to see, print it out, or use the mobile device and bring it with them on the show floor. But they may not know what an expo plan is if they've never been to the show before. So if I click the Add to My Expo Plan button, you're going to see that it did something. It changed to View My Expo Plan. Now, I'm going to go, well, what the heck is that? Let me go ahead and click. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring us over onto the show website, and it's going to pull up our exhibitor list with the exhibitor added to the plan already. And just give it a second here to load. There we go. So I've come here, and I've already started to build an expo plan. So now as an attendee, I'm going to go, well, what the heck is this? Let me click around. Let me see what's going on inside the portal. Let me click on your company and get a little bit of information about you. Here you can see, here's ABC Company with my profile. My brands have shown right here. I've got all the different things that are relevant for me, like my show specials that I put in. Here's ABC Company's show special. and it's going to pull this up for me, and all my information is going to be right here. So just by embedding a small widget on the website, you've brought people to the show, which show management certainly likes to see. You've shown your booth number, and you've also added yourself to somebody's expo plan without having to do anything. You just throw this on the website, and they'll come and take a look at it. Now, we had one of our other big shows that A to Z helps with use this widget recently. It's actually one of our newer things for this year. And they had a total of 350,000 views of the widget itself. It brought 579 people that otherwise would not have gone to the website, and brought 112 extra people to add people to their expo plan where they otherwise would not have. So for something very, very simple that's being provided to you, it really can generate a lot of value. So Arlene, that pretty much covers what I wanted to go over. Was there anything else you wanted me to touch on, or should I pass the controls over?
Well, I think you did a great job. I think that clearly this is some great tools for our exhibitors to take advantage of. And as Alex said at the very beginning, please feel free to contact him if you have any questions. Clearly he makes it sound so easy, but then again, this is what he does every day. But just so everybody knows, we had thousands, hundreds of thousands of searches last year take place over the show days, and we had over 5,000 people download the app, and others took advantage of our on-site kiosks. So this information is definitely used, and folks like having it, so please take advantage, if there's nothing else, please complete your eBooth profile. Now we can, Alex, go ahead and we can turn it on over to our friends at WT Glasgow.
Okay. I think I'm going to Chris, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. And just so everybody knows, too, I will be out at the show helping out. So if anybody wants to stop by and say hi to me or talk about cars or anything, I'll be there, and I'd be glad to talk to you. Chris, you should have presenter.
And Chris, if you would like, you can make me the presenter, and I will forward I will push the PowerPoint for you. I'll operate the PowerPoint. We have just a few little hiccups here. Okay. And we have, with the help of Alex, we've reviewed these, so we will move on to, there we go. Take it away, Chris Kulsak. Well, folks, it seems like we're having some issues with our sound. Chris and Judy will be with us in just a second, so I'll just start this off just so you understand. We have some new on-site promotional opportunities this year, and we wanted to talk about those this morning. You saw some of them in action last year, but we've added a few, and we'll tell you the information and the reason that we created some of these programs, because we've been meeting the last 2 years with our attendees to find out what would make their show experience better. And as it turns out, there's a few things that they asked for, and pretty simple stuff. For those of you that attended the Exhibitor Summit, you heard from the buyers. The buyers asked for the exhibitors to have thicker carpet and places to sit down. Sounds pretty basic. Well, as it turns out, when it comes to the show and the show experience, it's basically about comfort and about the ability to get business done. So last year we started some new programs, and yes, you as exhibitors can take advantage and promote yourself through some of these great programs that help make the experience for our attendees that much better. The first we're going to talk about is our AAPEX Greeter program. Last year, they were in bright blue t-shirts. We had about 35 young individuals from the Las Vegas area that worked with us to just welcome people to our show. Something as simple as saying good morning and helping direct people throughout the show floor. If your company is interested in that face-to-face kind of experience and wants to promote your company in that manner, definitely give the folks at WT Glasgow a call and ask them about this specific program. When we talked about earlier, you know, the carpet that they had mentioned at the Exhibitor Summit, Well, the same thing came through in terms of just a rest stop at AAPEX. As you know, our show managers do an amazing job, and we sell out the show floor. But you know what? Our buyers want a place to be able to sit, take a moment, review what's going on, look at their schedules, maybe search the app to find the next product or the next meeting spot. So we have created a couple of little oases on the show floor and actually out in the upper lobby. These areas will have Wi-Fi. Your brand can be promoted in a number of ways, including on the tables and through signage and so forth. And again, this is one of those things that you can help create that space. You can talk to WT Glasgow and make that space your own. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to brand it in the way you would like to brand it. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Chris Kalusik because he is on, and I think we're all set. Chris, take it away.
Arlene, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Super.
Wonderful.
And we're now at Wi-Fi cafes. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. The Wi-Fi cafes are actually located near the concession areas, and as we know, as exhibitors and attendees as well, the outside world doesn't stop when the show is going on. So sometimes you need to check your email and take care of some business. And this is a perfect opportunity to grab some lunch, check some email, and the sponsor's logo would be placed on the tables. There's high top tables as well as small, shorter cafe tables. Signage inside these areas, and like I said, they're located near the both concession stands on the show floor. And again, it's just another way to promote your brand and get your name out there and direct people to your booth.
Chris, remind them too. Remember, these were those spaces on the show floor where we had food, but we had those big tables in rounds of 10. And we listened. We heard from both our exhibitor community as well as the buying community. Those large tables, it was difficult to have an intimate meeting over lunch. So the folks at WT responded, and as Chris just mentioned, there's going to be highboys and cafe tables for a lot of different experience and actually a different ambiance in that space.
Right. And again, as the other sponsorships, if you have any questions about this, feel free to give us a call at Show Management. We'll be glad to give you more information on these. We also have, let's see, some other things that are still available. The AAPEX Pocket Map. We have brought this back this year for some attendees that prefer to kind of have something physical in their hand. They like the physical map that they can unfold and see where they're at. So those will be available on the show floor, and I believe at registration for attendees to pick up. You can have your logo displayed on every map that walks around the show floor and goes home with the attendees as well. That's a great sponsorship there. The mobile Compass kiosks. If you were at the show last year, if you exhibited last year, in previous years, you know that the Compass kiosk stations are strategically placed in high traffic areas, used by any attendee who wants to log into their MyAPEX, search for exhibitors, products, brands. They can view floor plans and print their schedules from these kiosks. Each kiosk has 3 sides, and each station has its own printer for the attendees to print their information that they need. Again, a wonderful sponsorship to get your names out to the attendees.
Folks use those kiosks. They don't necessarily have to log in. You can just go right in and do product searches, find out when the next scheduled education seminar is, or find out where the rest stops and cafes are. So these are wonderful kiosks with a lot of great information, very similar to what is on the app. However, you can actually print out lists. And they've updated, A to Z has updated the programming, so now you can actually print out a complete list of a particular category or whatever search you have done while standing there at the kiosk. So definitely a great tool. We had about 3,000 or 4,000 people use those last year, and a lot of great data on what they're looking for. So definitely a tool that the buyers take advantage of.
Right. Thank you, Arlene. And then besides these items, there are also, we still have signage opportunities, monster banners, aisle signs, billboards, all kinds of other sponsorships, which are also, you can see in the sponsorship brochure, which is online. If you take a look on there, you can see that. If you contact me, I can get a copy over to you via email. We can discuss whatever your company would like to do in the way of sponsorship. Even if it's something that was not in the brochure, if your company has an idea of something, we can work with it. We can work with you. I'm going to turn this over to Judy, and she's going to talk about some of these other opportunities.
Thanks so much, Chris. Alex has taken you through a lot of the online marketing opportunities. Chris just took you through some of the on-site opportunities, and I'm going to talk about some other ways in which you can reinforce your brand messaging at the show. One of the things that we're doing new this year is offering exhibitors the opportunity to do a product demonstration. What is so great about this opportunity is that we're providing preset rooms in the same area where the learning forum sessions are being held. And the beauty of the sponsorship is the promotional value that AAPEX will bring to it. We will promote your product demonstration in our biweekly newsletters, which we're going to talk about next. On our website, there will be a schedule of the product demos and the mobile app, on the on-site kiosks, in the show dailies. So this is a great way for exhibitors to present in more detail special features and benefits of their product. The rooms are available for 30 minutes. So that's 30 minutes of presentation time and about 15 minutes prior to the demo in which to set up your PowerPoint if you're doing that. The rooms are set schoolroom style with staging. We provide a screen, a projector, appropriate microphones. The only thing we're really not providing in the room is the internet connection. That's something that would be at the exhibitor's expense. So if you would like more information about what available time slots we have, contact Jackie Canner in our office, and she'll be happy to send something out to you. Next thing we wanted to talk about were the other print and electronic options for exhibitors to get their brand messaging out. The AAPEX Events Guide is probably still the most sought-after publication at the show. 30,000 are distributed, and every attempt is made to put these in the hands of your key customers, the buyers. I'm sure a lot of times exhibitors will come to us before the show and they want 15 or 20 directories to take up to their booth. Well, we want to make sure that these get in the hands of buyers first. So if we're being stingy with the distribution, that's why. We think it's important for your customers to have the event guide. It's still one of the primary navigational tools of the show because it's giving buyers your company listing, your contact, your booth number. It also provides them with listings of manufacturers' reps that are members of both sponsoring associations, export agents, listing of SEMA exhibitors with their booth numbers. While the deadline for advertising in the event guide was September 21st, Babcock still has some limited opportunities available. And if you get in touch with Jeff Stankert at Babcock by September 28th, you may still be able to take advantage of what is really an exceptional opportunity to get your brand messaging in front of the buyers. Another key tool for on-site is AAPEX Express, which is the show daily that is also produced by Babcock's. 15,000 are distributed daily. Again, our objective is to get these into the hands of buyers attending the shows, and these are distributed from registration. You'll see distribution of the show daily at the escalators and in really key, highly trafficked areas of the show. Buyers are using this because it's really showing them at a glance what are the key events for that day at the show, and it just kind of helps them a little bit better with their planning. And they're also covering major events of the previous days. So again, some limited advertising opportunities may still be available. Get a hold of Jeff Stankert at Babcock's by the 28th of September, and hopefully you can still take advantage of these two important publications.
Also, Judy, we ought to tell, as an exhibitor, if you have an event, let the folks at Babcock's know that you have an event going on during AAPEX, because they've got photographers roaming around, and they've got a new addition to the AAPEX Express, which is just sort of what's happening at night or what's going on, and they've got photos from various events. So if you want your event covered, they have additional photos that are on their website. Just make sure that they're aware of when that event takes place, and maybe you will have photos from your event in the AAPEX Express. So we're trying to make it much more of a fun as well as informative piece, and along with it, the new puzzles that they've added to it so that people have something to do while they're sitting in the cafe. They certainly have tried to make this a piece that people want to keep and walk away from the show with. So, sorry, Judy, go ahead.
Thanks. The next key communication tool for both buyers and exhibitors, especially pre-show, has become the exhibitor and attendee newsletters. These are newsletters that are issued bi-weekly through show management and the sponsoring associations. We're trying to streamline and cut down on the number of individual emails that are going to both exhibitors and buyers. So these publications are really the single source for all information pertaining to the show. Exhibitors, if you're not getting the exhibitor news, please check your spam filters. Every exhibitor is on the list to receive the news. It is coming to you from Pat Johnson at apexshow.com. If you're not getting it and you've not found it in your spam filter, please get a hold of us and we'll make sure you get on the list, because this is advising you of important deadlines that you won't want to miss, important programs that are taking place at AAPEX that you may wish to participate in, important sponsorship opportunities. Chris talked about some of the opportunities that are still available, but because of the renovation that's going on at the Sands, there may be some other last-minute opportunities that come up. Or if you've looked at this and you've said, there's really nothing here for me, please feel free to contact us and we can customize a program for you. But these are the types of things that you're going to find useful in the exhibitor newsletter. As far as the attendee newsletter is concerned, we have a 35% open rate on the attendee news, which is very, very good. I believe the norm is about a 24% open rate. So for exhibitors that are looking for a way to drive traffic to their booth pre-show, the exhibitor newsletter is an excellent, or the attendee newsletter is an excellent way to do that. We're sending that to all pre-registered buyers within the target audience of AAPEX. So every time we send that out, the list is being updated with current pre-registrants. There's opportunities for you for banners. There's opportunities to place an article, a short article in the newsletter. It's a great way for you to promote any special promotions that might be taking place during the show. So again, if you'd like more information about that, you can contact either Chris or myself, and we can let you know about the upcoming issues. We're kind of winding down now, so we've only got a few more issues left going into the show. So please let us know if that's something you would have an interest in. Arlene, was there anything that you wanted to add?
No, I think that's great. I think our clearly, if it's not this year, the newsletters will still be around in 2013, and they are a useful tool. And as exhibitors, make sure that you are getting that. There's a lot of good information on deadlines and on some of the stuff that we've covered today, and also information on our exhibitor summit. A lot of folks hadn't heard about that, and I think the newsletter, we're trying to do something where you have everything in one place. You only get it every 2 weeks. We don't want to spam you, so definitely take advantage of it.
Hey.
So, go ahead.
Chris, I'm going to turn social media over to you. Chris is our resident social media expert with WT Glasgow, so take it away.
Thanks, Judy. Just wanted to remind the exhibitors that there's very important to utilize the social media sites for your own companies, as well as then utilizing our AAPEX social media sites with your own social media sites. Post something onto our page. Ask us a question. We'll return the favor. We love the interaction between AAPEX on Facebook and our exhibitors on Facebook. When it comes pre-show, Facebook is going to be a very big social media presence. When it goes on site, you're looking more Twitter. I believe if any of you were watching the Green Bay Seahawks game last night with their questionable call at the end of the game, I believe it was reported that something around 6,000 tweets per minute were going out regarding that game. When it comes to on-site social media activity, Twitter is really the key, and you want to keep your tweets going. Your followers will see where you're at. They'll come and see you in your booth. Make it relevant, make it fun, and like I said, if you like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, we will do the same, for your company. I believe our social media followers and our presence has, I believe, doubled in the last 4 or 5 months, and that's just kind of the trend nowadays. That's what's going on. So, like I said, it's something you want to keep up with, and feel free if you have any ideas or anything, send us a message, give us a call. We'll work with you. And that's about what I have. Judy, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, again, I would just encourage the exhibitors, if you're not using social media, if you're having a hard time getting started, give us a call. We'll help you. We'll talk to you about some ways in which you can, start gaining more of a presence without it becoming a full-time job, which it certainly can be. I think we've noted in the last year that more and more companies are adding social media directors as full-time positions because this is the way things are trending, and it's an important part of an integrated marketing mix to cover your social media bases. But again, it's a great way to drive traffic to your booth pre-show by starting to do some posts and tweets. Video. The beauty, I think, of social media is that you don't have to go through the expense of hiring a production company. If you're having a pre-show meeting in your office, your booth is going up on show site. Well, you can take video with your mobile device and post it on Facebook. And again, it's just reinforcing your company's presence, your location on the show floor, and your brand your brand during the show. Again, after the show, another way to extend the life of your participation in AAPEX by showing video, posting things that happen during the show to capture that audience that may not have come to the show this year. So it gives you another way to tap into important prospects by using social media.
And on that note, I think we'll turn it back to Arlene.
Thank you, guys. Great stuff. Obviously, the show is moving in the new direction with all the new technology that's available to us. We certainly hope everybody will take advantage. On a funny note, we have over 25,000 followers on Facebook, and apparently a lot of them are from India. So if you're interested in the Indian market, definitely start following us on Facebook, and you can get out to all of those that have made us their favorite. For all of the information that we've shared with you today, your one stop for information, apexshow.com, AAPEX show.com. Certainly contact our show office at 708-226-1300, and we hope the next 36 days will be great for you guys and that you'll be ready to rock on October 30th. We're certainly going to be ready. It's going to be a great show, and we're all here to help to make it a great show. The show office will be located in the same location as always, lower lobby. Just look for them, and if you need any assistance on site, they're certainly there to help you. I'm going to turn this over to Chris now, Chris Gardner, and thanks all of you for participating today.
Great. Thank you, Arlene and Judy and Chris and Alex very much for preparing and sharing. I do have a question about deadlines. As you said, there are only a few weeks. The show is only in a few weeks. There are a lot of things that need to be done. People who have not taken advantage of certain things can still do so. So, to all four of you, what are any deadlines that are coming up in the next week or two? That whether it's e-booth, e-content, or sponsorships, or publications, or whatever.
I think October 1st. Well, we talked a little bit on the call about the deadlines for Babcock. We're kind of right on top of them. The 21st was the space reservation deadline. The 26th is the materials deadline. But again, contact Babcock if you if you're still interested in advertising in one of those publications. The next, I think, important, as I call them, flurry of deadlines are coming up between October 1st and October 3rd. This would be your deadlines for Freeman, your deadlines for Sands Exhibition Services, and a lot of the other service providers, official service providers for AAPEX. I would encourage every exhibitor to please go online and double check your target dates. It's taking, you've invested a lot of time and money in the show, and you don't want to miss that target date. If you have any questions about the target dates, please come to show management and or Freeman about that. But that is a very, very important piece of this, and this would be a good time if you haven't already done so to check on that. Badge registration, I believe October 15th is the last day that they are mailing badges, so you can really save yourself a lot of time if you go ahead and register your exhibitor personnel in advance, and there's still an opportunity for you to get those badges in the mail. If you have any questions about that, Sandy Koulis, who is our AAPEX event coordinator, can help you with that, and she's here at the Glasgow offices. The profile, it's really important at this point for you, if you have not updated your profile, to do so as soon as possible. The deadline has passed for the updates in the on-site, in the printed event guide, but my AAPEX and the AAPEX website, this information is contained on the website, until we launch the AAPEX 13 website. So, a lot of people are going to start using this as they move into the move closer to the show, to plan for the show, to find out who's exhibiting, to be looking for suppliers of particular products or looking for U.S. exporters. So if you haven't done so, please do so as quickly as possible. And if you need any assistance, again, please contact our office, and we're happy to talk you through that process, or you can contact Alex at by using the help button on the My AAPEX screen.
Excellent. Thank you so much. There's a lot to do. A lot of our exhibitors have completed a lot of those, but I'm sure you've reminded some of them that, I need to get on to this. And yes, you do. Great. We don't have any other questions right now, so we've come to the end of our time. We want to thank you for participating today, and we look forward to seeing you in Vegas at AAPEX 2012 in just a few weeks. And we look forward to an outstanding event as everybody tries to drive new business and connect with existing customers. So with that, thank you again for all the presenters, and we will see you in Las Vegas. Have a good day, everybody.